Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to build some of the dies from the new Hoorah die set. So all of these are the dies here. So these are like bumper packs. You get 29 dies and then you've got your stamp set there as well. And it's a full size stamp set. Just show you here. This is the stamp set. I particularly like this one out of the three because you've got this fun sentiment. This card is chipped. If you throw it in the bin, I will be alerted. And then you've got the lovely blocked numbers there as well. So if you have watched the other two videos showing the other two new sets and how I build those, it's the same process again. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to show you out of the 29 dies because these are the most detailed, I would say, and once you've kind of got the knack of these, then you know how to do all the others. But I have all of them laid out here. They are so fun. I mean, I particularly like the champagne bottle there. You know, spend time building these all up. You know, when you get your die sets, whether it's this one, anything that you buy, just spend a day just building them all and then you've got them all. These are going to last me for quite a while now. I'll be able to make quite a lot of cards from all of this, so it's nice to just have it there. And I like to build them so that you have like little pieces of ephemera, little chipboard like embellishments. These are, you know, they're nice and hard. You can put foam behind them, you can punch a hole in them, have them hanging. You can just do so much more when you do build them up. But that's not to say that, you know, you can just keep it as a simple die, you know, stick that onto your card blank on the front of a card. Maybe the white or mirrored card that you might stick it on will come through all the gaps there and it will still look really nice. You could put little embellishments on the stars and it's, you know, and use it that way. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, just show you these ones here and hopefully you'll be able to then create something like this. So we'll start off with the bottle because I've got it right here and I've got all these little bits as well. So with most of them, what I like to do is create my base piece. Actually, no, we'll start because I've already cut it there. I'm going to actually start with the hand, actually, with the wine, because I think that's going to show what I mean better. So I've already cut the pieces there to paper piece it back together. So this is the die here, and you can see how it looks once you build it all up. Got a red wine, rosé, I'm going to do a white wine. I want to create a solid shape of this die without it cutting all of the detail out. So if you look behind here, there's a solid in the gold, there's solid white there, but I also want to have the white wine as like the outline. So I've got a yellow card on top of the white. So whatever card, for example, here, I wanted my Y to be in black, but I've got the solid in the white behind, so I put black on top of the white. So just think about, you know, what you want to be the top color. So for example, the bunting here, you'll see on the back of those, it's all a solid piece. Might cut through a little bit, but it won't pop the detail out, and it means you can then paper piece. I could put different colors in here if I wanted to, but I put the purple on top of the white, and that's just the same for everything. And then these ones here, see, they've got a solid color on the back there, but I've cut the whole thing in silver and stuck it on top. So just think about what colours you want to use. I'm going to run that through my die machine. It's a 300 GSM smooth, so again, once your glue's added, that's what gives it that nice kind of chipboard feel. So now what you'll find is it's cut out the top piece perfectly, just as a normal die would cut out. So that's how it looks. And I want to keep elements of this. We're going to snip into it, rid of that bit. And then what it's done with this piece is it's cut all of the outline out. You might find, depending on your die machine and different thicknesses of card, you might have to, you know, pull a few bits off, but generally it will cut it all out fine. So now I've got this solid piece, so I can paper piece all different bits onto it and nothing's going to fall through. Now obviously you've got the little gaps here. I did just use a cutting knife just to kind of help them out. You'll find it has pierced through like probably a good chunk of that card. So if I just show you, this won't be the case on everything, it's just this one's got a little bit of detail in the middle there, but you can just use your knife and it actually cuts out quite well. And what you can do is cut bigger than what the actual shape is, because you're going to cover over that, so you don't even have to be particularly tidy, particularly neat with that bit. You know, just get rid of it, because what you paper piece back over the top is bigger. So that's just a quick way to take out those bits, but you can leave them in. And like I said, it's only actually on this one where you probably have to do that. Everything else you would leave it as is. So then I've cut it again in like a skin tone. So I'm just going to pop those bits out, but all I want here is the hand. So I'm just going to take my snips, and this is what paper piecing is. So you're snipping away bits that you want to then piece back on to build your image. So just snip away. It's really easy just to follow the shape, and then I need to come down. The glass is, the hand section around the glass, you'll see it's already kind of cut away most of it. It's just kind of tacked with a few little joins there. So we've got the hand for that side. So you can see how I can just sit that right over the top, and then I need the rest. So just follow it, just snip that bit and you'll see that all comes away there, and then again just snip a little bit and it's already kind of popped off there, like so. That one's going to go over the top. So now you can see, oh, trying to do it there, how that's coming together. So what you can actually do with this one is we'll stick this one down next. So that will go in there. Then I'll put the hands over the top. So now I've got my silver glass. And then with this one, because I want it to look like white wine, I'm just going to cut a little wave just so it doesn't look so full. And that's going to go in there, and I'm going to ink this all up a little bit. So I used tattered rose just to add a little bit of shading on the hands there, a little bit of a darker red there, darker pink there, just to add a little bit more just detail really. So I'm going to ink that up and stick it all down. Okay, so there is my wine glass. So you can see the three there together, how they look, and you just do exactly the same for the beer there. Just use some blues, just different colours. Really easy to build. You can see they've got the solid background there, but again, all of these pieces are just more usable, just nice workable pieces. For this one, we'll explain that a bit better now. So I did the same. So I put the purple on top of some white card, and then I die cut that. So now I've got my die cut purple piece, but I've got a more solid white piece here. So those pieces haven't quite, you know, pierced through enough to pop out. I then cut it again with the glitter card or silver, and then I cut it again in this kind of greeny holographic, and then I just cut the cork there with craft card, because you'll see I've got the little cork just stuck on all of those there. So let me remember the order that I did this one. So I'm going to stick that one just right on top. Okay, then I've just snipped neatly across the bottom there of like where the kind of cork would be. And I'm going to stick that one over the top. I'm then going to just add a little glue anywhere on the kind of spray, place the cork there. And then I've got all of these bits to paper piece back in all of the gaps. You could leave them white if you wanted to. And just kind of rub over if there's any glue. I just like to go over it, buff it off there. There we go. You can see now what a difference, you know, when you just spend a bit of time just piecing and layering up all of those different colours. I think they look really fun. You could do a rainbow of these, you know, on the front of a card. I think that would look really good. And then I'll show you the bag, because this has got a little bit of like stencil detail on it. So again, I just got some green card, popped it on top of white card, and then ran those through together. So it's cut this one, all the detail, but this is a solid piece. I'm going to stick that one on there. But before I do that, I'm going to pop it back in the die, and I'm just going to take a green ink. I haven't re-inked this, it's just the ink that's left on there, and I'm just going to brush it in the corner there, and it just gives you a bit of detail where the fold would be on the bag. There we go. And now when I pop that on the white, I get my white handle, and you can see all the different ones that I've done here, little shopping bags. Again, rainbow of shopping bags. You could use this part, you could be popping out of the bag, get rid of the corks. It's like there's presents in there. So don't be afraid to like snip into the dies and mix them up and create, you know, whatever you want with them. It's a nice versatile set. Okay, so that is my other shopping bag. Then what have we got? Oh yeah, the cupcake. I love the cupcake. The way the cupcake's done is the same way that you do your cake here as well, but can you see the little cupcakes? They are adorable. Absolutely love these. So again, I've got mirrored card on top of white card. Run that through my machine. And then we've got a lovely cut silver piece. I'm actually just going to take off. Sometimes you think they're glued down because they've been compressed, you know, so well, but I just use my pokey tool just to kind of flick those off. There we go. Keep them as well if you wanted them to paper piece, you know, and do it a different way. But now I've got my cupcake, which is just that solid piece. And I'm going to stick this one back over the top. Oh, I just remembered, you don't want to stick the top because we're going to be colouring that in. You actually want to just snip the candle off, so just follow the curve. There we go. Thought then, hang on a minute, that's not going to work. So we need the white candle top of it, like so. And then with this one here, because I want a red version, I'm going to snip everything away apart from like the icing. So just follow the shape around bottom and then again just snip off your candle. I don't need any of the centres here, but again you might be doing yours differently and you want to use these little pieces, use them as sprinkles. Might have a white, you know, this could be white and then you have all different colours in there, but that is going to stick over the top. So we have our red cake. Okay, and then to get the flame effect there, I've got my alcohol markers and I've got a yellow, an orange and a red. And I've also got a fine line pen, and you just want to colour the whole thing in with the yellow. Then you want to add a little bit of orange, about halfway from the bottom, leaving the yellow at the top, and then an even smaller red right down in the middle there. So that's like the hottest part, and then you've got that kind of glow. And then for the wick, just put a black line through the middle. Hopefully you can see the effect that gives you. So now I've got like a little rainbow, very cute cupcakes with a little candle on them. I think they look very sweet. And then the last one is a rainbow slice of cake. So you can see all of the cakes I've got here. So I've done a couple in just silver, but I quite liked the rainbow cake. So what I did here is cut it in all different colours. Got all the bits there that are falling out, and then I'm going to cut it. I just need a white base and a white front, so I've got white on top of white there. So I want to keep all of these pieces apart from the bits that are going to fall out. So I just need the solid white back piece. Just take those little bits off. Okay, so that's the solid piece there, and then I've got, make sure they're all popped out, I've got that piece to go back on top because I want a paper piece in between that. You could just stick directly on that, so they're a little bit more 3D, but I like everything to kind of be all contained and like flush. Again, just a little glue. So now I've got these little kind of dips in the design where I can now paper piece all of this back in. So I did kind of do a rainbow order there, but I think I'm going to do this the other way round. So I might do some blue at the top, do that, and then if you sit this over the top and then just push through the pieces that you want, you push through and they perfectly, you know, fall into place there. Then we'll do, these can be green, and then the yellow, so we'll do yellow, orange and red for the long strips. So just add your glue in the middle there. There we go, quick little slice of rainbow cake, very cute. And there's the silver and the gold. So these are the other two sets. You can see I've got them all ready here. So this is the With a Little Luck, which is all of your magic, casino, bingo, things like that. And then this one is In the Garden. So now having all these ready just makes it really easy when I go to create all the cards. So you can see these videos. This was the first one I shared, then the garden, and then this one I've just shared today. So I hope that has, if you're just finding this first video, just explained, you know, and just shown you a few tips really on ways to build your dies. I do have a few of these videos that I've done for other collections as well. I'll have all of this product pinned in the description box below, and like I said, I hope you found this video useful, and I'll see you in the next one.